Welcome back to our channel. We invite you to embrace the moment by liking the video, sharing your reflections in the comments, and subscribing to journey with us through our latest stories. I'm Emily, a 40-year-old single mother navigating life in the vibrant city of New York. I've nurtured my son Daniel on my own since he was a child. Now at 23, our bond is profoundly deep, especially on that chilly winter night. Daniel returned home, weary from the demands of work and school, his fatigue evident. I gently offered him the comfort of my bed, settling beside him, hoping to share a moment of tranquility together. He leaned into my shoulder, exhausted from the long day. I placed a comforting hand on his back, offering a moment of support. Initially, it felt familiar. A mother gently soothing her son, like a serene embrace of warmth. We lingered in that moment. An unfamiliar, intriguing tension began to envelop me. The room enveloped me in stillness. The only sound resonating was the rhythm of my own heartbeat. Daniel's breathing became soft and steady, and I wondered if he was drifting into a peaceful slumber. But then he drew nearer, his arm encircling me more firmly. In my surroundings I felt a chill, caught in a moment of uncertainty about what to do next. Part of me yearned to retreat, yet another part remained anchored, unmoving. In that moment, an unexpected sensation washed over me. A tension beneath the blanket. My heart quickened as I attempted to remain composed, reminding myself that Daniel was simply my son. Perhaps he was unaware of it, even as time slipped gently by. The air between us thickened with unspoken feelings. Daniel remained near, his breath calm, yet I sensed the heat rising between us. I felt the urge to speak, to fill the stillness that enveloped us. Yet the words eluded me. As Daniel shifted, he lifted his head to meet my gaze. His gaze was gentle, enveloping me in a warmth that stirred both comfort and a flutter of anticipation. Though he remained silent, his eyes conveyed a silent inquiry, as if seeking reassurance that all was well. I attempted to smile, yet it only deepened the weight of the silence around me. Daniel radiated warmth, lingering close by my side. His face was warm and soft, while his fingertips glided gently, a flicker igniting a feeling within me that I simply couldn't overlook. I maintained a calm breath, striving to conceal the flutter of my heart within me. As we lay there, I reminded myself that I was simply offering comfort to my son after a long day. In that quiet moment, just the two of us resting in the warmth of our home, my mind drifted to the bond we've always shared. One built on love, trust, and unity. Daniel appeared oblivious to the turmoil within me. He lingered close, his hand gently caressing, offering solace. His breath flowed steadily, his eyes gently shut once more. I found myself pondering whether he was drifting into slumber. But then his hand glided gently, tracing a path up my arm. A thrill coursed through me as he opened his eyes, locking onto mine with an intensity that stirred something deep within. His gaze held a question, a silent inquiry about whether this moment was acceptable. If he experienced the same deep, magnetic connection that I did. I softly breathed his name, my voice a gentle murmur. I felt the urge to retreat, to create a space between us, yet I found myself unable to break free. The tension that lingered between us was palpable, akin to a silent tempest brewing just beneath the surface. In the quiet, a delicate tension grew between us, our silence rich with unexpressed emotions. Emotions we both sensed yet hesitated to express, as if it were the most instinctive act. Daniel drew nearer, his presence enveloping the space between them. My heart raced, thoughts swirling, yet I found myself unable to retreat. I felt conflicted, caught between my duty as his mother and the unexpected emotions that had begun to emerge. As Daniel leaned closer, a wave of warmth enveloped me. My breath hitches and all thoughts dissolve into the background. Departing, yet lingering in that shared moment, Daniel's. A soft hand lingered on my shoulder. His fingers lingered as if caught in a moment of uncertainty. The world around us faded, and all I could focus on It was the gentle embrace of his presence, the rhythmic pulse of his heart, if only for a fleeting moment. I gently shut my eyes, seeking a moment of tranquility within. I urged myself to step back, to create some distance from the intimacy that stirred such complex and intense feelings within me. Daniel reached out and tucked a strand of my hair behind my ear, a small gesture of appreciation. I opened my eyes and there he was, gazing at me with a tenderness that spoke volumes, a deep sense of trust reflected in his expression. His face was so near, and I could perceive every delicate detail, the subtle freckles, the soft curve of his lips, the way his eyes sought out mine. His gaze held a softness that resonated deeply with my own. And I could see that he was just as immersed in this moment as I was, suspended in the stillness of our shared experience. As time seemed to freeze, my thoughts swirled in a tempest of questions and uncertainties, leaving me in a state of stillness, unable to find the strength to move. I found myself captivated by him, this individual I had nurtured, yet in that instant, he seemed like a stranger, as if time had paused in our shared silence, holding us in its embrace. Daniel drew back just a touch. As he broke the spell, his gaze shifted, a hint of shyness washing over him, and a soft, tremulous laugh escaped his lips as he rubbed the back of his neck. It anchored me in the present, awakening the awareness of how intimately connected we had been. I inhaled slowly, seeking to soothe the whirlwind of feelings within me, wishing he remained unaware. "I apologize, Mom," he murmured, his voice laced with a tender hesitation. I hadn't intended to bring about justice for the peculiar situation I created. He turned away from me, and I noticed a subtle flush on his cheeks, as if he were grappling with the same bewilderment. I was there. I felt a deep urge to soothe him, to assure him that all was well. Yet the words lingered, caught in the depths of my being. Words eluded me, and for the first time in ages, an unfamiliar tension enveloped me in the presence of my own son. I extended my hand, gently resting it on his shoulder. She offered him a gentle smile, wishing to soften the atmosphere between them. "It's all right, Daniel," I murmured, my voice gentle and calm. "It's just that, well, it's been just the two of us for such a long time, and I think we're both navigating through a sense of uncertainty." Daniel nodded, and I caught a glimpse of relief in his eyes, a softening of the tension that had lingered between us. The doorbell chimed, its unexpected sound gently pulling us from our shared moment, disrupting the delicate atmosphere that had enveloped us. A captivating energy lingered in the air, prompting me to rise swiftly. My heart races as I approached the door, a wave of gratitude washing over me for the unexpected interruption. When I finally opened it, I discovered our neighbor Jacob lingering there. Jacob had always exuded warmth, a presence I could rely on in moments of need. Hesmalt. Yet his gaze held on to me, stretching out in a way that felt different, more profound than before. And I found myself still enveloped in that peculiar energy from the moment. With Daniel, a gentle wave of relief enveloped me, soothing my spirit. In that fleeting instant, I surrendered to the gentle embrace of tranquility. "Thank you, Jacob. Your presence brings a warmth that lingers in the air," I responded with a warm smile. In truth, the house carries a gentle chill that lingers in the air. I would be truly grateful if you could take the time to ensure the heater is repaired properly. As Jacob entered, a shiver ran through me, sensing Daniel's gaze lingering on us from the shadows of the hallway, his expression a mystery. I turned my gaze over my shoulder at him, and for a fleeting moment I caught a glimpse in his eyes, a spark of what seemed like jealousy. Even as he attempted to conceal his feelings, I was taken aback by the suddenness of my departure. I found myself pondering whether he was experiencing deeper emotions than he was willing to acknowledge. Jacob glided through the room, adjusting the heater, his voice soft as he inquired. They asked me about the atmosphere at home, and we engaged in a deep conversation. Yet, his gaze kept drifting toward Daniel, who remained silent, observing us intently. With an unusual depth, I could feel his unease, and it introduced a fresh wave of intensity. Eventually, I found my way to my room, dear one. Perched on the edge of the bed, I reflected on every moment that had unfolded. It was something I could no longer push aside. Yet I found myself uncertain about how to confront it. In that moment, a gentle knock echoed softly at my door. My heart fluttered, a soft hope stirring within me at the thought of Daniel's return. "Step inside," I invited softly, striving to maintain my composure. Unwavering Henry gently pushed the door open and entered the room, his presence filling the space with a quiet intensity, his expression a mystery. He approached and settled beside me. Beside me, he gazed at his hands, and we lingered in a quiet moment together. They carry the weight of all that is, intertwined with the essence of mother. He finally started to let his voice emerge, a soft whisper that lingered in the air. A soft murmur, "I find myself lost in uncertainty. I apologize if I created an awkward moment earlier." I found myself drifting away, caught in the delicate dance of his unspoken thoughts. I rested my hand on his, offering a soft, tender squeeze. "Daniel, everything is all right. We find ourselves in a moment of connection. Perhaps we find ourselves wandering in a haze at this moment. For what feels like an eternity, the pursuit of justice has lingered, weaving a tapestry of complexity that can leave one feeling adrift." He nodded, his eyes lingering on his hands. Then he raised his gaze to meet mine. His eyes brimmed with a tapestry of feelings. I found it difficult to decipher. "It carries a unique essence," whispered gently. It was as though he hesitated to acknowledge the truth within him. I was unaware of how Tor came into existence. For a fleeting moment, I sensed my heart resonate with that same tangled emotion. I contemplated extending my arms to embrace him, to whisper that all would be well. Yet, I found myself uncertain whether it was truly what he sought, or if it would weave an even more intricate tapestry of emotions. So instead, I simply remained there, embracing the stillness. Express the feelings we share. At last, I inhaled deeply and gazed into his eyes. "Daniel, perhaps we should pause for a moment and reflect on everything that's been unfolding." I spoke softly, reassuringly. It's perfectly natural to embrace that sense of closeness. Yet, it's perfectly natural to seek solitude to explore your thoughts and feelings. And nodded gently, a soft understanding passing between us. In a moment that caught me off guard, he rested his head gently on my shoulder, just as he did in his youth. It enveloped me in warmth, a sense of belonging that stirred deep within, yet with that peculiar allure to it that I couldn't resist. I felt my heart melt, and I wrapped my arm around him, drawing him near in a tender embrace. It felt comforting, even as I sensed that the unspoken questions lingered between us, unanswered for the first time in a long while. I sensed that perhaps we could embrace the uncertainty, allowing ourselves to be present without needing all the answers just yet. We can explore this journey slowly, discovering each moment together. Even in the midst of complexity, we found solace in simply holding one another close. A gentle wave of tranquility washed over me, a gentle yearning that, regardless of the challenges, we would navigate our journey together. In that moment, we lingered in silence, simply enjoying each other's presence. It feels as though the distance between us could vanish simply by sharing this intimate space. Yet, beneath the surface, I sensed the truth was different. So uncomplicated. The warmth that enveloped us was both soothing and disquieting. A sensation lingering just below the surface, impossible for either of us to overlook. After a while, Daniel pulled back, gazing at me with a blend of feelings still shimmering in his eyes. "I apologize." Mother spoke once more, her voice gentle and soothing. I offered a gentle smile, hoping to bring him comfort. "Everything will be all right." "All right. Daniel, we will navigate this journey side by side." Thank you for listening to today's story. See you again in our latest story. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive notifications about the latest stories.